You've done the right thing. You've insulated your ceiling. You've insulated your underfloor. But you're still cold. Best you finish the job. And to match your walls.
Let's move on to way more serious things, though. Gosh, you thought it was the worst of it was over early last week. Top of the South Island, many places in the country, some places up north, but particularly top of the South Island, hit by an enormous amount of rain and weather. There has been a state of emergency in place there for, it seems, forever. And for an update and for, an update on what that part of the country needs, we're joined by the Mayor of Nelson, Nick Smith, by video link. Geez, Nick, you guys have had an absolute thumping with the weather, haven't you?
I don't know quite what Mother Nature's got against us, but we had a wicked short storm in late May, in which there was quite a lot of flooding in the central city. And then on 27 June, got a very serious whack. Actually, that second storm was significantly worse for our rural neighbours in Tasman district. And then we'd only just lifted the state of emergency last Monday. We were a little bit nervous about the forecasts, but effectively a repeat event came through last Friday. Sean, what was different about the event Friday was the gale force winds. And one of the things that has come apparent over the weekend is literally thousands of hectares of plantation forest have been bowled, effectively with the trees just having such wet feet, very easy for them to be lost, and that will have a lasting economic impact.
Is that the higher in places like that? Is that
further south, Sean?
Yeah.
Again, the second event we had on Friday is that actually Nelson's incredibly well protected generally from the weather, from the west, from the south, and from the east. It's these northerly storm events that we've had a run of that are really knocking us around. Our rainfall for the month of June was 3 times the normal, and it's just that level of saturation that has meant that we've had a real whacking. In 2022, it was Nelson that got the brunt of it. To be fair, it's our neighbours in Tasman, the rural community, that has really got it this time, albeit we run our civil defence operation jointly, and that has worked very well.
As we've discussed before, you're all kind of in it together in that part of the country. No loss of life or limb so far?
Well, we were devastated by the loss of a hop grower 2 weeks ago who was trying to retrieve trees from the Waihiti River a fortnight ago, and myself and Mayor King, as well as the Minister, attended his funeral last week. Thankfully, over the weekend, there has been no loss of life. We had 14,000 power consumers cut off. All but 80 of those have now been restored. So a phenomenal effort from the contractors there. We had our state highway through to Christchurch blocked by hundreds and hundreds of trees, blocking off on the Spooners Range. That was cleared and reopened last night, Sean. The big disruption for my city in Nelson is that Rocks Road is again closed, and just the landslides on that hill. That's incredibly disruptive for the city in that it is one of the 2 main drags from the Waimea Plains in, and so traffic this morning is just awful, and we're just going to have to try and manage that the best we can, Sean.
All right, you're still under a state of emergency. Any feeling as to when that might lift?
We've got a further meeting this afternoon. One of the key things, Sean, is that when you're in a state of emergency, it does enable you to get on with physical engineering works that can be a total pain in the ass with the Resource Management Act. So that'll be one of the things that we are assessing. For instance, the stop banks in the Waihiti River burst on Friday. We've got contractors from Taylor's back there restoring those stop banks. One of the questions for us is going to be, we are going to move from state of emergency mode to recovery mode, but how much benefit is there from just being able to get our contractors getting stuck in and doing
and get that
work.
job done, before you've got to get into the red tape.
Well, the worry for us, and the forecast for this week's not too bad, but the Met Service is saying to us there is a high probability of potentially getting further of these sorts of systems through the rest of July and August, and that's why we need to be cautious and be prepared in case Mother Nature lines us up again.
Yeah, I see One New Zealand deployed some new satellite mobile system for the area over the weekend. Did you catch up with that?
Yes, I did. And look, our communications has not been good enough. Out of Cyclone Gabriel, you would have noted the pretty appalling reports of people losing cell phone coverage. One of the takeouts of this event, Sean, is that we do need to improve that. This is about both batteries having the capacity when the power goes out to be able to keep those essential communications. We'd still be making a plea, Sean, which I've repeated, and we've had very good ministerial support. David Seymour, Mark Mitchell, and also Minister Mark Patterson were all through over the weekend. And one of the points I made to them was, look, Sean, we spend millions and millions of dollars on thick reports and navel gazing on climate change. A really practical thing that would make a difference for a region like ours would be a rain radar, just helping us identify where the areas that are worst affected, because it does vary each occasion. And then the other part is, if there was another learning from this event, it is a frustration for the public that the road closure information is separate on NZTA from the local roads. We do need to switch up council NZTA and get a single source of information so people know.
That's only a little tweak. That would be easy. That would be easy to fix, wouldn't it?
These are some of the things that we need to do. Look, I would rate the recovery and the emergency management as, pretty good. At least an A, but there are learnings from every one of these events, and there are a few of those takeouts, Sean, that I'll be discussing with government and with our own emergency response team. We don't like getting better at this, but with all the practice, we are improving.
Yeah, and Nick, just for people who are in trouble who need help in the region, where's the best place for them to go? Who do they ring?
Yeah, sure. Get in touch with our Civil Defence, Nelson Tasman, but also at the Motueka Recreation Centre, where the bulk of the damage is. We have that centre opened as an information and emergency response crew at the rec centre in Motueka. That's the place to go. Equally so, getting in touch directly with Nelson Tasman Civil Defence, sure.
Good on you. I know you're busy. Thank you very much indeed for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers. Nick Smith, Mayor of Nelson there. Boy, they've had it bad. They really have. Lovely part of the country too. Sean, read the flooding in Nelson. It's almost like they pick a different region every year to flood, identify a weather system in the Tasman Sea and cloud seed it. Oh, God, forget it. I'm not going to read the rest of that rubbish.
You've done the right thing. You've insulated your ceiling. You've insulated your underfloor. But you're still cold. Best you finish the job. And to match your walls.